All right, this is an emergency video in advocation for Candace Owens. For those who don't know, there has been multiple threats to Candace Owens' life. But what's crazy is there's a new threat, and I'm about to play it for you right now. I did a live stream on this and asked people to share that and send it to Candace and send it to Tucker, because Tucker might be in danger also, but it's a 2-hour live stream. So I wanted to make a shorter video to make it a little bit more shareable and a little bit more concise. So I'm gonna play the threat, but I want y'all to understand first, it's very ominous and it could be triggering. So viewer discretion advised. But before I play that, I wanna let Candace give y'all some understanding of what is happening and where everything came from, because she posted a video about 4 or 5 months ago that gives you a better understanding of what's going on right now. Because at the end of the day, we can't lose Candace and we can't lose anybody else. So check this video out in its entirety and hit the like button. And of course, I'm gonna play the intro.
Everybody, everybody hit the like button. 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 If you got something to say, drop it in the comments. Don't be acting afraid. What? Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. If you got something to say, drop it in the comments. Don't be acting afraid. Drop your city in the chat. Let me know you at. Drop your city in the chat. Let me know you at. Drop your city in the chat. Let me know you at. Drop your city. What? Drop your city in the chat. What? Drop your city. What? Drop your city in the chat. Drop your city in the chat.
Like I said, I've been holding on to this for a very long time because something happened all the way back in February, and I was sworn to secrecy temporarily, and I feel that today is the correct day to inform audiences because it may have some severe global implications. So here is what happened, all right? The date was Monday, February 24th, and in the early evening, I had just kind of wrapped the show. It was just after 5:30 p.m., to be precise. I received a very strange message from a friend of mine. I'm not going to identify that friend, but the message specifically read, "Hey, I have something to tell you from the White House. They asked me to call you. I'm just the messenger here." He says, somebody very high up at the White House has asked me to ask you if, as a favor, you could stop speaking about Brigitte Macron. I ask for a little more information. I say, who specifically called you? And that friend of mine says, it's somebody that has the president's ear. Go back to that person and just say, I said no. It's free speech. This is obviously an important story to me. The implications here are pretty severe about what I've uncovered. So no deal. Anyways, I sleep on that. Anger is subsiding. Wake up the next morning. It's February 26th. And I am sitting in the makeup chair and I get another message that's like, hey, keep your phone on. And anyways, this phone call is coming from Florida. I pick up the phone and lo and behold, so here's what happened. I'm negotiating this thing. I'm negotiating Ukraine and Russia. And you wouldn't believe how many parts are part. It is President Donald J. Trump. He is calling me. And in true President Trump fashion, he jumps right into the narrative. We're not, hey, how you doing? He just jumps right into the narrative of exactly how this went down. I'm negotiating. You wouldn't believe how many pieces this person wants this person. If this person wants this, and you have no idea how much is involved when you're trying to get one of these deals done, Anyways, I have Macron. I like Macron. We're speaking at the White House, and I'm walking him to his car. And, he says to me, Mr. President, can I speak to you for a second? I say, of course you can speak to me about anything. What's going on? And he tells me that there's Secret Service all around them. There's SUVs. They're encircled. Macron wants to have a little sidebar. And then Macron says to him, Mr. President, do you know Candace Owens? And I say, yes, of course I know Candace Owens. What's going on? And then the president says to me, you must be a very powerful person, Candace. We're talking about the president of France taking me aside to talk about your podcast. And then continues his narrative and he tells me that Emmanuel Macron is requesting to his face that I stop speaking about his wife. And one of the things Trump said is he tells me, she's old and this is really, really impacting her. He then tells me, we're really close to getting this thing done. We're really close to getting this thing done. He tells me again, Macron's been really good to me. You know, he's been very easy to work with us. He's been a good person. He just wants me to get this one thing done. And he throws in the art of the deal type stuff. He starts complimenting me. He said, Melania loves you. She says, you're so beautiful. She thinks you're so beautiful. I said, thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. President. You know, compliments will get you everywhere in life is my mentality here. And then I say to him, what I've agreed to already in the back of my head, I say, look, I'm happy to do this for the short term. Obviously, I don't want to have on my conscience that less Christian men could have died in the East if I just shut up about something. But I'm very clear to him that this is going to be short term, and that I fully expect that in a few months I will be able to speak about this. And this is the point of the conversation where it actually gets quite interesting, because he says yes, and I am now adding to you what I sensed. Like, he was about to commit to that, but then it felt to me like someone in the background was like, no, we need this conversation to stop altogether. And then he doesn't say no or yes, but he just says, that he really needs to work with Macron long term, and they have this long working relationship. And I was very clear, this is not long term for me. Like, if you're close to this deal, ink it, let's get it done. And then he sort of offers at the end, he says, hey, maybe I can come on your podcast one day. I'm great for ratings. They're so Trumpian to give yourself a compliment. So I give him the Trump right back. And I say respectfully, Mr. President, I'm apparently good for ratings too, because you've got a leader of a country, the president of the country, asking you to ask me to do a favor. I want to tell you guys this. There's another phone call that I had with Andrew Colvett. He said something, and it's hitting differently the more that I think about it. He said, and I quote, Candace, it was supposed to be you. It was supposed to be you. That threat may have been coming from the government, may have wanted me and Tucker to watch our friend die. And then that global gang wanted us to know that you will be next if you don't shut up. Like, really, it was supposed to be you.
And you have to consider, there's nowhere safe for them in the world. There's nowhere safe for them in the world. There's nowhere safe for them in the world.
As we all know, Candace Owens is spinning a lot of suggestions that there's all sorts of conspiracies out there about who killed Charlie, or they're in some sort of murder conspiracy unless you have really strong evidence. We can't keep spinning conspiracy theories without evidence. People are going to get hurt. People are going to get hurt. People are going to get hurt. You never know what can happen to you. You never know what can happen to you.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait, first of all, you're not going to speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
You never know what can happen to you.
Statements about Charlie, all lies. And all while they're still getting death threats. And all while they're still getting death threats. But they have a plan.
A few moments later.
Rank Colonel DGSC Action Division. For 21 years I ran black contracts in Africa, Middle East, and yes, sometimes on your soil. Tonight, I break every oath I ever took. 2 days ago, a priority cable landed on my desk. Operation Poignard. Target Candace Owens. Client Unit 8200 liaison embedded inside the Elysee. Payment routed through a shell in Cyprus we have used since the Rainbow Warrior days. The directive is explicit. Quote, eliminate the subject during live broadcast. Maximum visceral impact. The blade must be visible. The audience must feel the cut. They want her open from sternum to pelvis while the red light is on. They want the chat scrolling no 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 as they hit the desk. That trauma is the secondary payload. Primary payload is you, the viewers. Break the Americans who still speak against. Make the rest too afraid to open their mouths. The team is already in country. 4 operators, 2 ex-Legion Blade specialists from Corsica, 1 woman involved in the job on that Saudi journalist in Istanbul, and a spotter who was in the crowd in Utah. They have our studio floor plan, they have the shift change of our security, 2 of our own circle accepted crypto for information 2 weeks ago. When she cancelled this week's shows, the orders updated immediately. Mobile kill box. Wherever she surfaces next, whether it's an emergency stream, even a goddamn parking lot live stream, they are planning to be there. I sent her the precaution through a cutout she trusts. Burner rules, no GPS devices, no routines. But she is stubborn. She thinks exposure protects her. It does not. It is the bait. If she goes live again without changing her voice print, without hard encryption, without ditching every person who has been within 10 meters of her in the last month, she is as good as... They will let her speak for 5 minutes, long enough for the bot to boost the clip, then the feed will show exactly what they want the world to see. I am recording this because when they find me, I want there to be a record. This is not rogue, this is policy, signed at the highest level. Tell her, do not trust any American agency that offers protective custody. More than half of them are penetrated. Tell her the only safe move is to disappear completely for 90 days. After that, maybe the war they are planning will make her irrelevant.
Hey, how about we meet up at a coffee shop and play this fun dating card game? We'll have fun and see if we're compatible all at the same time.
Ooh, what's the name of the game?
It's called Deeper Discussions.
I'm down.
Okay, meet you at 6.
Deeper Discussions Dating Edition. Again, these cards are good for vetting a potential boyfriend, a potential girlfriend, a potential husband, a potential wife. Actually, these cards are so soft and silky, by the way. Like
they ain't gonna get
really
wore out.
Durable.
A dating card game for introverts who have a hard time asking the much needed compatibility questions. Deeper Discussions, the card game.